At the height of his career, T-Pain was the voice of a generation. He had dozens of hits, multiple Grammys, and a fortune worth $40 million. But then, it all vanished. He went from the top of the charts to having $0 in the bank. This is the story of how he lost it all, and the strategic steps he took to build an even bigger empire from the ground up. In the mid-2000s, T-Pain revolutionized the music industry with his signature use of auto-tune. He wasn't just an artist, he was a hit-making machine. However, wealth came faster than wisdom. Like many young stars, he lacked a formal financial education. He began spending millions on luxury cars, massive properties, and a lifestyle that assumed the checks would never stop coming. He famously spent over $1 million on a single Bugatti, only to sell it later for a fraction of the price. But the real danger wasn't just the spending, it was the mismanagement. He trusted others to handle his accounts without oversight. This created a perfect storm. As his musical style faced a public backlash, often called the anti-auto-tune movement, his primary income began to dry up. But what happens when the money stops but the expenses don't? He soon realized that his $40 million empire was built on a foundation of sand. The collapse was not overnight, but it was absolute. T-Pain had invested heavily in real estate just before the market crashed, leaving him with properties that were worth far less than he owed. Eventually, he reached a point where he had to borrow money just to buy his children a meal at a fast food restaurant. It was a moment of profound humility for a man who had once been the king of the industry. He realized that the traditional music industry model, relying on hits and advances, was no longer sustainable for him. He had to make a choice: disappear into obscurity or reinvent himself completely. He chose to take full control of his finances for the first time. He stopped delegating his business decisions to experts and started reading his own contracts. This shift in mindset was the first step toward recovery. But the question remained: how could he prove to the world that he was more than just a voice behind a digital filter? The turning point came in 2014 during an NPR Tiny Desk concert. T-Pain performed without any vocal effects, showing the world he was actually a classically gifted singer. The performance went viral and completely shifted his brand from a studio creation to a respected artist. This wasn't just a win for his ego. It was a strategic business move. He used this renewed respect to pivot toward heavy touring, where artists often keep a much larger percentage of the revenue compared to streaming or album sales. He stopped chasing the radio and started building a direct relationship with his core audience. He also became incredibly transparent about his financial failures. By sharing his story, he became more relatable and trustworthy. This authenticity allowed him to secure lucrative brand deals and partnerships that were previously out of reach. He was no longer just a rapper. He was a businessman who understood his own value. Today, T-Pain's empire looks very different than it did in 2008. He has diversified into the digital world, becoming one of the most successful celebrities on Twitch. Through his gaming and streaming, he has built a new, younger fan base and a massive, consistent stream of income that doesn't depend on the music charts. He also launched Nappy Boy Automotive and other ventures that align with his personal passions. The key to this new empire is diversification and direct ownership. He now understands where every dollar goes. He moved away from the flashy spending of the past and focused on long-term assets and sustainable growth. The lessons he learned from losing $40 million allowed him to build something even more valuable: financial independence. His story serves as a powerful case study for anyone in the creative arts. But what is the most important lesson of all? It's that failure isn't final. It's often the most expensive and effective education a person can receive. T-Pain's journey from $40 million to zero and back again is a testament to the power of resilience and financial literacy. He proved that it's possible to start over and build something even stronger. If you found this breakdown helpful, please subscribe for more stories on the business of entertainment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.